Hey guys, it's Brittany and welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. If you are obsessed with the paranormal or anything scary as then you'll love me. I've been reading about different, legends at schools and everything, and I've made a lot of videos about schools in Japan and the legends at these schools. If you go into the bathrooms and you can summon all these ghosts and like these evil entities, and it's just so fascinating to me. And then I started thinking, did my school ever have a legend like that? I went to 3 schools. I went to preschool, which was a church that I went to. I actually should look into that more to see if there was anything weird around that church, but I don't really have a memory of experiencing any paranormal stuff happening over there. I went to my elementary school from kindergarten to 8th grade, and then high school was 9th grade to 12th grade. So I don't really recall anything weird at my elementary school, like any ghost legends or anything like that. I wish I had more of an interesting story about my elementary school, because I know a lot of you guys have reached out to me about your schools and your ghost stories or legends that happen at your school, but I don't have anything exciting at my elementary school. But my high school, there's something there, and I thought I would get into it. I went to a very gigantic school. I'll just tell you what school it was. It was Sinclair Secondary School. Absolutely hated it. I used to call it Sinclair Penitentiary. I had great teachers though, and I did have great friends. It's just there was a lot of like mean people there. I made like a whole video about like my bullying experience years ago, but I wish I could go back to high school and kind of just like tell everybody to fuck off who was mean to me, because that's exactly what I would do. But getting back to like creepy legends and stuff, there used to be a giant forest beside my school. Now that forest is filled with houses and a new plaza. There's a lot in this plaza. A lot. It's a huge plaza now. But when I was in high school, it was this giant forest, and I remember there was this story. I don't know if it's true, but I just thought, since I was just kind of reading up about legends and stuff at school, I was gonna share it. I don't know. And I want to get like more personal on my channel and stuff. I like to kind of like share these like personal stories, even though this isn't really a personal story. It's just had to do with my school and what I remember hearing back in the day. I really remember hearing about all of this in 9th grade. So that was my first year of high school. And when people are telling me things in high school, like in 9th grade especially, I'm gonna believe things, because I wanna fit in and I wanna, know what's going on and everything. But I remember there were these stories about this forest. And if you went in there, the principal office and the VPs and the principal would know. Even if you went there after school hours, if you went there at midnight or something, they would always find out. And I believe that the principal and the VPs would make that clear, especially to the 9th graders. Like, if you go into this forest, we will know that you're there and you'll be suspended or whatever. And there was also a cemetery across the street from my high school. And I remember if you skipped school, they said you could run to the cemetery, and then the VPs and the principal would leave you alone. If you run to the cemetery and make it there, they will not chase you anymore, and they'll just like let you go. It's so weird. So that was like the safe zone, was to go to the cemetery. But anyways, if you were caught in this forest, you were in deep trouble, supposedly. I never knew anybody. Actually, I did know somebody. I did, but I wasn't with them when this happened. But I would just always hear about people getting in trouble, or like going over to this forest or going into this forest late at night or something, and there would be a lot of people daring people to go into the woods at night, because supposedly there was this house in the woods and a man lived in this house. Like I said, I can't prove this. This is a story I heard. It's a legend. Now, I tried looking stuff up surrounding this legend. I have found nothing. Absolutely nothing. So was it just this, high school story that's been passed down for a long time because my school opened in 1994. I used to walk to school every morning because I lived really close. I used to meet up with my friends and we just always walked. We would always walk by this gigantic wooded area. And majority of the time when we'd walk by it, I would always hear kids, because like there's so many kids on the sidewalk, and they would like bring up stories about the woods and saying that there's a man that lives in there. There's like this old shack. And it's just kind of funny because as I'm telling you guys the story and I'm like, I can envision everything in my head. Like I can see myself on the sidewalk, the forest is on my left. I can see like the kids, you know, my fellow like classmates and schoolmates, high school mates, in front of me and behind me. And I can like hear the whispers talking about this forest. And I can see the visuals in my head that I pictured at the time of this house and this man. And I remember this one guy, he like dared me to go there at nighttime by myself. And I was like, I'm not doing that. And of course I'm a daredevil when it comes to things like this, but I thought we were dealing with an actual living human being. And I didn't want to, I mean, I'm a teenager. I didn't want to go to this forest at night. I think I asked my friends, but I had no idea how I would get this past my parents because like I had a curfew and everything, right? I'm a teenage girl, and if I was out late, like there's no way, unless I was lying and saying like I was at a sleepover at my friend's house or whatever. But then how would we leave my friend's house to go to the woods at night, you know? So I would tell this person, I'm like, I'm not doing that. I would love to, but I want to be with a group of people to do that to see if it's true. But I just always said I'm not doing that because I don't want to get in trouble. And then the principal and VPs said that they would know, but how would they know? So I think they just said that to scare you, so they didn't want you to get hurt or whatever. But with this house in the woods, guys, I don't know who this man was. I don't know if he was an actual human. I don't know if he was a spirit. There's so many stories like, oh, it's a haunted forest, or, you know, if you find this house, like if you knock on the door 3 times or something, like this will happen, that will happen. I've never seen the house. I've never seen pictures of the house, but I remember there was like a story or multiple stories of groups of kids that went into this forest at night and they tried to find this house and this man, and one specific group apparently found the house, but it was just I never saw any proof or any evidence of it. So I don't know. It's just interesting. I wish that I could go back in time and try to figure out a plan to go there overnight. Now that forest is completely gone and it's just houses, it's a neighborhood, and there's a plaza in there now. But I wish that the forest was still there because I would go back today. I remember this one guy was like trying to get into this forest and he kept saying he was getting in trouble. But now when I look back, was he even trying to get into the forest, or was he just saying he was to be cool and really he just wasn't doing it? And then he was just, I don't know, because this guy, I think he was a bit of a liar. I didn't really like him, to be honest. He was kind of mean, actually. I mean, do you want to know what he said to me one time? Like, he was just so, I don't know, I just hate his energy. But one time, there's a place called Much Music in Toronto, and it's kind of like, it's like MTV pretty much, and he went to Much Music to see, I don't know, some celebrity was there, I don't know. And one of the VJs, her name was Leah Miller, and I loved Leah Miller. She was like one of my idols growing up. I loved her so much, and I've met her quite a few times actually. He came up to my locker. My locker was on the 4th floor, by the way. He came up to me and he's like, hey Brittany, so I was at Much Music yesterday and I met so-and-so and I saw Leah there. And I'm like, oh cool, like I love Leah. And then he was like, he looked me dead in the eyes and he was like, she actually looks like you, but she's ugly. So he would say things like that to me a few times over the years. He would just be like, yeah, you look like her, but she's ugly. Like he would just always go out of his way to say I'm ugly or something like that. Like, bitch, I know I'm not fucking ugly. Like, you're the one to talk. Like, look at you. Look in the mirror before you fucking say anything to my face. And then I remember there was this other dude, I don't even know his name, and he was in 12th grade at the time when I was in 9th grade. And every time I walked in, he would say something stupid to me. Like, just something so stupid. And like, just fuck you. Fuck you. Sometimes I have like fantasies of like going back to school and just telling everybody to fuck off. Really, please tell me I'm not alone. Like, I wish I could go back and just tell everybody to fuck off. I used to get made fun of for the dumbest shit. I don't even have my picture there when I graduated. Like, I remember, that's how much I hated that school. I couldn't wait to get out of there. Since day one of 9th grade, I was like, I cannot wait to graduate and just never see these people ever again. So I remember it was the end of 12th grade, and the secretary or something, she came out of the office and she's like, you need to get your picture taken. And I said, no, I don't want to get my picture taken. She's like, well, you have to. Like, it's, you know, your picture to be on the wall or like whatever, like your class picture. And I said, why would I want to be remembered here? That's what I said. And then she just left me alone. So I have no picture there. So if you go to Sinclair Secondary, there's like no evidence of me being there, but you could probably ask about me. And I'm sure, I think some of the teachers, my teachers were still there. I'm not going to say their names, but ask about Brittany Crab. If you go to Sinclair Secondary School, ask about me. I'm sure somebody knows. I'm sure. Because I was very memorable. But anyways, that is the legend of the house in the woods beside my school. If it was even true, if it was paranormal, I don't know. If it was an actual human being, like living being, I don't know. But what I do know is that there were a lot of stories about it. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Am I even gonna post this? Like, I don't even know, guys. I don't even know. I probably will, like, whatever. I hope that you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.